Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Tilted Talk. As always, I'm your host, Dave Troop, and joining me this week is my usual co-host, Throoper, who
What's up?
was not with us last week, but he was in Orlando, which is why he looks significantly better than I do right now.
Yeah, dude, don't lie. I just finally figured out the proper saturation settings for the Logitech cam that I got, so it's all a lie. It's not a tan.
Yeah, apparently I haven't figured out those settings yet because I look like a ghost right now. I'm a little bit scared of myself, to be honest. Could you be this white? Is this even possible? I need to figure this out. I'm sorry, guys. Hopefully next episode. But anyway, this week we've got
we're gonna get banned. They're gonna be like, you guys are running a movie. We're like, what are you talking about? We were doing our podcast. Be like, you guys were running Casper on your stream. You're not allowed to run a movie, and we're gonna get banned for that. So
yeah, maybe we might get a copyright strike here from whoever owns Casper the Ghost. Oh god. But yeah, guys, there's not too much news going on this week, so we thought we'd do something a little bit different. And we're actually going to do a gameplay breakdown for you guys. So we're going to do a little bit of a VOD review session here.
Yes.
But first, we'll get right into the one piece of news that there is. There's a new combat shotgun.
A little sliver of news. That's it.
That's it. We're done.
That's it. The news is wrapped up. That's it. They added a drum gun shotgun.
That's what I meant. The drum shotgun. Sorry.
If you guys know anything about weapons, I think it's an AA-12 shotgun. Is that the real name for it? It's fully automatic shotgun.
Yeah. So it's fully auto. It shoots really fast, actually, which is pretty fun to use. It's like a faster, less powerful version than the TAC.
Yeah.
So if your aim is really trash, this is what you're going to want to go with. It's probably going to be my new favorite weapon because I can miss 6 shots and still hit the rest.
So from the what I've used from it in the games that I've played, it is a barrel stuffer's dream weapon. It's perfect for that. So if you don't build when you're in close range and you just do those freak out shotgun jumping battles, or you don't even think to jump and you just kind of just stand there and just hope for the best, this is your weapon. Perfect weapon. Especially when you're in a box. I mean, you just spam this and it shoots really quick. If you hold down your trigger, it's automatic, obviously, but it's not the best when it comes to like distance. You have to be dead on with this thing, and it has a really big spread. So if you're close range with it, it's actually very effective. I mean, you can if it's use it as your follow-up weapon, especially when you're in close range, you're bound to get at least a few cleanup kills from people that are unsuspected.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't do that much damage either, right? It's like 45, 47, and 50 damage per shot. So it's not a one-shot kill shotgun at all. Like the TAC, you can kind of get a one-shot sometimes if they don't have full shield, and if you have the higher rarity variant. But this one maxes out at 50 damage per shot. So you're kind of... It's definitely used as a cleanup gun, I think. Like if you run out of ammo with your SMG or something, like you have to reload, you just swap to this and you can kind of just rapid fire the couple last shots in there, make sure you get them. But I don't really see this being game breaking in any way or even game changing at the higher levels.
No.
So that's good. At least it's another weapon it's a new weapon that's in the game, but it's not, there's no competitive community uproar, which is fantastic. It's definitely better than some of the other like sword quad launcher stuff like that's been like, what on earth? But yeah, that's essentially all of the news for the competitive community and for honestly everybody who doesn't play creative. That's it. Very small week, which I guess kind of makes sense coming with the World Cup getting closer and closer. I think they really are showing that they're trying to limit the amount of changes that go on in season 9. But apparently season 10 might be out before the World Cup, so then it'll be like a reverse patch that the World Cup gets played on. I don't know. We still don't really know exactly what settings are going to be used, unfortunately. As soon as we know, you guys will know.
A guessing game at this point.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the news this week. Super exciting. Yay.
When we're in between weeks for the World Cup, we can all get a little restless, unfortunately.
Yeah,
I mean, but also, granted, Epic was also on, I believe, a 2-week vacation, so I didn't expect a lot out of this update. I think a lot of people forget that part. They just off of vacation, so it still lines up with a content update that they wanted to release, although this was the only thing on deck, but it's still something. This also isn't the first time they've had an update where they've only put a weapon added to the loot pool, and that was it. I think this is like the second or third time they've done this. So, I mean, I expect a little bit more, a few more changes in the coming weeks, especially with a lot of people talking about that shield visual glitch. I don't know if you've seen it, if you've been playing recently.
Yeah,
Ever
I've
since
seen it.
the last update, it's been a nightmare when you get shot if you have shields, especially if it's directly where you're looking, because now there's this giant wall that shows up, this giant blocker in front of you, that giant blue thing that you just cannot see your opponent
Yeah.
if you're looking straight at. It's a nightmare situation to be in, especially if you're in close range. And the last few days I've been thinking, oh man, I definitely want to get on and play. I'll get on and play a few games, and then I'll get shot and see that terrible expanding blob on my screen, and I immediately think to myself, oh, I forgot that that's in the game right now, and then I want to stop. I pretty much stop playing because it shouldn't be there. It's terrible, and I mean I don't think it's on purpose. I think they're
No,
I think they've already mentioned on Reddit
because it doesn't happen every
yeah.
time either, right?
It's a
Which is
I think that's why I don't think it. Yeah,
yeah, it's definitely not on purpose. Because if it was, then it would happen every single time, and it doesn't happen every single time. It just happens enough times that it's frustrating.
right, exactly. And then because if it happened every time, I think you'd notice it right away. But
Yeah,
I noticed it after like a couple games. It really struck me, and like it was visually appalling.
yeah.
I didn't want to. I immediately wanted to switch the game, and I'm hoping that they at least next week, the week after, fix that, because we got what 2 weeks now, 3 weeks to the World Cup. I mean, it's gonna be might be a little slow leading up to that. A lot of people doing scrimming and all that, but man, it's right now is the calm before the storm.
Yeah, definitely. There's another glitch too with like picking up weapons. Sometimes like I've seen a couple of clips where people were trying to pick up like a gold scar or something, and they just drop a bunch of guns around it. Yeah, and they
Dude,
can't
I saw
pick it
that
up.
too. That was like that was giving me anxiety just watching that. He's like looking right at it, and it's just cycling through like all the other BS that he's trying to get around. I mean,
Yeah, and he's even like throwing the other items like to the left and to the right when he drops them. So then that way it's just the scar by itself and nothing's directly on top of it, and it still wasn't getting picked up. But I know Epic has actually responded to that, and they've said that they're looking into it. So those are the types of things that I'm assuming Epic is going to be really focused on cleaning up over the next couple of weeks, because they don't want to change the season too much with the World Cup being played on it, and they want to make sure that there's no glitches like that. Because honestly, if you were casting the World Cup and that happened, yikes! Big yikes. So that can't happen. So hopefully they'll get that cleaned up before the World Cup happens, or hopefully in the next week, honestly, just as a nice quality of life thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm expecting in the next few weeks the game to get a huge quality of life update leading into the World Cup, and I think it's going to be pretty exciting. I mean, if the game hasn't already peaked in terms of popularity and just people that know about the game and how ubiquitous it is, if it hasn't already reached that point, it's going to get to that point, especially once we're finally in the first World Cup. I mean, they haven't announced really what their plans are post World Cup. I'm assuming they're just going to keep on, and we're going to go into next year's World Cup.
Yep.
But this is going to be the first annual. But yeah, I mean, right now we're just kind of waiting to see what happens from that.
Yeah, my guess is there'll be some, major tournament organizers that get to pick up a tournament here or there to kind of run some LAN events while they're waiting to start the next World Cup qualifying session. Because that'll obviously be a while away still. They're not going to start that anytime soon. I wouldn't assume. Maybe they will. Who knows?
Well, they did mention they want to do trios as like the next competitive focus. So,
Yep.
But they're like, make sure you scrim with your trios, and they're like, please add arena trios. Can you add arena trios, please? And
Yeah.
It's not a feature of the game. I mean, why just queue up with your your 3-man team, play a normal game, or whatever. I mean, you're still getting a challenge because you're down a man and everything like that.
Yep.
But at least that's the only thing you got for the time being.
Yeah, you have no siphon or anything there either, right? So it doesn't play quite the same.
Well,
But
unfortunate.
it's close enough. I mean, you're still playing Fortnite. It's good to work on the communication. You're building your strategies on how you play fights and all that sort of stuff. And obviously, you're not playing the highest level competition, but just working on your teamwork, at least for the time being, is something that you can do.
I do know that it changes fundamentally the gameplay and your movements and your and all your decisions when you're playing regular solos versus, say, an arena solos or duos, because of that siphon, and just a huge aspect of the game and a huge time saver. But if you're really, I believe that I think that getting practice on just regular squads, with your trio or any regular game that's not arenas or any game without siphon, I think that's perfectly fine practice because in my opinion, those games are at this stage still the most chaotic and like you never know what to expect when it comes to any of those games or any of your opponents that you cross. I still come across some of the most sweaty players in regular solos than arena solos. It's crazy, right? You would think you would get the opposite, but it's really not the case. So, yeah. I mean, I feel like so many more things are a lot more chaotic in a regular game. You get all different kinds of people, all shapes and sizes, and you never know what strategy is coming. But when it comes to an arena game, when it comes to a scrim, you kind of already know what to expect. Everyone's going to be pretty much at the highest level, and a lot of the games are going to play out the same, kind of like how everyone boxes up in the final circles and all that. So, in my opinion, that's why I think like the original solos, duos, and squads right now, I mean, they're fine practice for what we have just until the World Cup, because, I mean, right now everybody knows World Cup's coming. So even people that have not played much or that maybe have tried a little bit of Fortnite, they're going to be hopping on now of all times. Be like, maybe kind of get their mojo back and see if they can try to play just because it's coming. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just get into the mood.
Yeah, exactly. And also maybe start practicing for next year. And I think a lot of people use the normal solo as a warm up, like normal duos as well. Before you play some arena, they hop into that, play a couple of games, try and get a win or two, get themselves feeling good, feeling confident, and then go play the arena mode. Yeah. Man, we managed to make one piece of news last quite a while, eh? We are professional fillers, guys. Like
professional BSers at your service.
Well, let's get into this gameplay breakdown because I think this is interesting, and depending on how well received this is, I think we'll definitely keep doing this. But obviously, we'd love to hear feedback on it and see what you guys think. So this game comes from King Joe 83, King Joe _83 on Twitter, just without the underscore on YouTube. Seems to be a pretty competent player. It looks like he plays controller. So let's get this started. He's immediately going to find some people. I don't know what that was. So this is at 98 points in arena is where he queued up, guys. So not the highest overall, but not completely bottom of the ladder either. Gets himself 3 really quick kills here. And let's see. Okay, he doesn't have the health and the shield stuff go auto to the right, so I'm automatically upset at him. But
he's good on mats, but yeah, he's got an unfortunate loadout right now. Only has that heavy sniper really. But he's totally fine when it as far as in my opinion, because he has enough shields. Look at that though. That's a nice shot.
Yeah. So he's already got 4 kills. This is a really, really quick start. Is that wasn't the very beginning of the game?
For that shot. Come on.
It wasn't the very beginning of the game, obviously, because he did have some mats and stuff like that, but it was close enough to the beginning. I don't know how that one guy didn't have a gun. There's another guy that he's going to take out. It looks like there's another guy in that room.
I really love this gun for that reason. Close range, it's deadly. It shades, man. It shades of that attack submachine gun, which was my favorite gun by far to follow up with a shotty.
The drum gun is broken.
Oh yeah, that thing. Hey, luckily they added it's a little slower now when you shoot, which is nice. And it's not a 50 drum, it's a 40, which is still okay. But I still feel like it's definitely has its place to spam for sure. And now if you combine that with the drum shotgun, I mean, you could just be I'll call it the Tasmanian Devil. You could be a Tasmanian Devil, just completely rush somebody's box and annoy them.
Yeah, definitely. So it looks like here he's chasing somebody. He saw somebody right away.
It's a third party right now. He's not invited. Sorry,
buddy. He's inviting himself.
Oh, this is before that house got demolished, by the way. I guess this is the party that wrecked it. Oh, man. That guy put the ramp in the wrong angle. The guy probably could have saved himself.
Yeah, he probably could have. But, at 100 points, these are the mistakes that you're going to see players make at this level, right? You're going to see them mess up their builds to a certain extent. And it looks like here he's just building. I guess he's trying to get a vantage point. Yeah, he's got some gliders. So
but yeah, he heard the footsteps.
Yeah, we don't have sound, unfortunately, guys. So we're kind of doing this VOD review a little bit. Well, we're doing it deaf, essentially. Blind. We're not doing it blind. We can see, but we are doing it deaf.
We're doing it deaf and at 5 frames a second.
That was beautiful because I can guarantee you what happened there is he heard that person healing. He heard that healing animation, the shield animation.
Well, he
Somebody
might have also heard the footsteps from this guy that rolled up, and it distracted him, which gave him the angle on that guy around that pole. And now, these are all his builds, so he's good to go.
Yep. Using that gray tack there to some pretty.
And
big
look
effect.
at the loadout now. Beautiful.
Way better. Yep. Way better loadout. So that's pretty impressive. He did manage to get 9 kills with what was honestly a pretty crappy loadout.
Max on his materials now.
Yep.
Oh, he's absolutely like this is a complete turnaround.
Mm-hmm. So I kind of like this. He's actually like you can tell this guy's confident. He's just kill hunting at this point.
Is this from beginning the game to the end?
Yeah.
Awesome. Because I was gonna say this is the longest clip of the week ever.
It's not a clip of the week, bro. It's a full VOD review.
Might as well
Is he serious? Did you just?
Yeah, I do the same thing now. It's amazing. It works just like a sniper.
17 damage.
Oh, and he cones himself. He's actually losing a build battle to himself at the moment. He saved it. Oh, all right. He found the baller again. Nice. All right.
Found his original baller. So he's just kind of been going in circles here around Pleasant.
He's just smashed.
Interesting.
Oh, that was dirty.
I like that. That was an interesting
right there. I think I believe he got shot in the back. I could be wrong.
Yes.
I thought I saw the shield in the back hit pop up.
Yep.
Yep. There you go.
And it takes that guy out really quick.
Don't shoot that guy from that far away in the back like that, and then attempt. That's your attempt. One little puny wooden ramp. Like
yeah.
Out of here, buddy.
Yeah, you got to be a little bit smarter with how you take engagement sometimes, right? And this is again coming back to what I think. This guy's clearly. I believe this guy plays at a higher points total, and this is kind of him just smurfing for YouTube content. I believe. I could be wrong about this.
PS4 or PC on a controller?
This is PS4, L1, R1.
Got it. Man, he is doing fantastic right now. Yeah, this is my dream. This is my dream game, just so we know. Because my highest solo is 16. So he is by far on his way to a 20 bomb.
Yeah, he really is. And he's just being very reckless, too. So, guys, I wouldn't necessarily recommend playing the way he's playing right now. I think he knows that he's significantly better than most of the people.
Yeah, like, exactly. Because you see right there, that guy didn't even counter build.
Yeah, exactly. But what I would say is where I think a VOD review like this is really helpful is for spotting what the other players are doing that could have been better. Like that guy was trapped. He kind of knew it. I'm not sure if that was his floor. I think it was that player's floor, and that would have been, a good place to maybe edit out, and then kind of reset that battle, try and build something else, build back up, rather than kind of just being stuck in a box with the guy on top of you and you having nowhere to go.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, in that situation though, especially those last two people, they really didn't build too much in defense, which is good for him. He's got plenty of mats, but when you see somebody who's not going to be erratic on their building and they just pretty much stick with shooting, if you know you can outshoot them, then you're pretty much good to go. You only have to put minimal materials down and don't really waste a lot in those fights. And this guy's pretty much cornered.
Yeah, so that guy was just in a really bad spot. He had no idea he was coming. Maybe he heard the glider, but it was probably too little too late. He was already down there looting when he did hear that sound come in. So he's kind of just trapped. Now, I'm assuming he sees somebody, right? Oh, okay. So he just built up a big 1x1. Now, what I will say here is he did just use a ton of wood. I mean, he's got max mats apart from that, but he did just use a ton of wood for what was not maybe necessary. So resource management there is always something to think about, guys, because as you get to the late game, especially in games where everybody's of equal skill level, you get involved in these crazy build battles. Like if you've watched any World Cup at all, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And having no mats is honestly what got a lot of people killed. You would not have mats at the end. You would not be able to build, and you kind of have to try and run through or just edit something. And if you didn't have, and if none of the builds were yours, you were in big, big trouble, right?
Right. You need to be not just mindful of your materials late game, but there's so much going on around you that you have to replace so many walls and floors, and just to get the advantage in a lot of the fights.
Yep, exactly. So you see here, he heard that glider behind him, I believe. He turned around, saw that. He knows that this guy's underneath him. So how's he going to play this? It looks like this guy's just holding forward right now.
Yeah, I mean, he's got so much confidence. I mean, I don't blame him. Like, he's already been so super aggressive at this point. He's going to keep pushing because his adrenaline's going through the roof at this point. He's having the perfect game.
Yeah. I mean, he's got almost full health, and now
Sitting
with
every
that
shot.
kill, he does have full health, full shield, right? So
Right.
he's not missing his shots. So
Oh,
this guy's shot accuracy is fantastic. Like I will say that for a controller player, this is really, really good aim. Probably a COD or a Halo player, if I had to guess. That's where you got to start.
I would be cheesing right now if this was my game. I would be choking. Actually, is what I would be doing.
Really?
At this point, well, he's playing. He's clearly the best player in this lobby, in my opinion. But I always feel that way occasionally, and then I'll run into somebody who is just insane with their speed and their building. Look at that. He was able to bash his way through that box with just the scar. That guy didn't even. He was not ready for that.
No, he wasn't. And there you would have assumed he would have used the drum gun, right? It's a little bit better for breaking those builds down, but this guy's just got full confidence. And now look at this loadout, guys. He's got himself a gold scar.
Perfect.
Gold shoddy. And the drum gun. Then the gliders, obviously. The gliders are super important.
Yeah, and he's not wasting any right now because he's coming out of the slipstreams as well.
Yep. Really good use of the slipstream there. Now, you see he saw that guy in the baller, so my instinct tells me he's going to go for this.
All right. I'm wondering because the best case scenario is when you start shooting at somebody who has a baller, they don't try to get away. They jump out and start fighting, and then you win the fight. So that way you get their loot and get their baller. So it sometimes is a good idea to land on somebody like that. But I mean, yeah, he's on pace to do insanely well. He's using the slipstreams perfectly to make sure he scans this area. So he's gotten most of this on lockdown. Yep, he's already beaten your personal record there, Tyler. Yeah, that's I got to hit him up in the DMs and just be like, hey, what's up, man? Do you do Fortnite lessons? I heard that's like a new thing now. Yeah, I'm surprised it took this long. Do you charge by the hour? Yeah, this guy's toast. Are you kidding me right now? Right, so he's using a shotgun from that range. Now, honestly, that's just disrespect. Like when you have a gold scar, that is 100% perfect scar range. But hey, this guy is really showboating to an extent. I didn't realize. He's not. It's. I wouldn't say I disagree, but he's also. I mean, he's just doing things that he can get away with, and he's right now getting away with everything. Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? Is that guy on the ground definitely needed to do some building. Oh, that's smart. Oh wow. I thought somebody. He's actually in trouble here. This is interesting. There's a couple of guys chasing him. There's that guy in the baller who's getting shot in the back. So how's he going to play this? Well, he just builds up and around. That guy just boxed himself in underneath. So you know that this guy's trapped now. He put the roof down so he could edit it himself, and he's getting into the box. He does get into the box, and he takes him out with the drum gun. So they're showing a little bit more respect, using that drum gun rather than the scar. He saw that this player was actually capable of building. Now there's that moving storm. Yeah, run away from that. Storm. And storm again, flip. Ooh, those shotgun shots are just nasty. Man. Bomb. So he's got 20, and there's still 15 players left in this lobby. But it's a big circle still. This is not like a World Cup circle where, it's like 40 people left in the last little bit. So he's going to have to do some hunting still. Yeah, there's a lot of room. But he's playing very, very aggressively. Like you can see him using these ballers and using those slipstreams. I mean, it looks like, to me at least, that the reason he's using these things is to get around and cover as much ground as possible. He's essentially kill hunting at this point. Yeah, I mean, he could chill in the slipstream with the baller as well, because a lot of people just think they're the unmanned ballers and won't even look twice at you. So you can definitely kind of swan dive or swanton bomb on somebody unsuspected. Yeah. I think he's already found a fight here. Yeah. Yeah. So, you're bound to find somebody here now that the circle is ending right on Neo Tilted. I wonder if he's going to remain here and keep fighting. And he found a good spot to ditch the baller if he wants to keep it kind of within range. Exactly what he did. Look at you, Tyler. That's perfect. He went for the shotgun. Yeah, dude, ridiculous. But why not? He's going to get like 20 HP from it. I'm like, why? Yeah, there you go. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful. And those are all dings, too. It's such a satisfying sound. That guy is not loving this pressure. Oh, nice. Oh, that was beautiful. So and I think that guy wasn't looking at him. Yeah, that's a really important mechanic that I think, obviously all the top players have mastered, but lesser players aren't as good at. And it's making sure you're building those roofs on top of the stairs as you're going up, right? Because that basically prevents somebody from shooting down at you while you're pushing them and then editing them out of the way.
So something that a lot of really good players have mastered, but a lot of the more novice players have not yet. So if you're at this point total, I think that's something that you could definitely be working on.
Oh,
and that guy's just hiding under the stairs.
Down his
Oh,
toes.
man. So is that guy just hiding? Like, is he literally just? He didn't even open the ammo box either. Neither of them did.
He just hit him 3 times in the feet. And that was it.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah, he didn't open the ammo box.
King Joe doesn't need the ammo, but maybe
I
the
think
other
he
guy
hears
did.
somebody.
Yeah, it does look like it.
This guy's going John Wick mode right now.
Oh yeah. He saw somebody gliding in there, so running through the water, not smart, but he's pretty confident nobody's going to be able to kill him. So, but still, would not advise.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Who else? Yeah, he's still got plenty of room to cover. Oh, but that's an easy spot.
Yep.
Should have killed him one shot earlier, too.
That guy did not even try to fight him, which... Is this really what this what 125 points looks like?
He got 3 shots out, and that guy's... the only thing that guy got off was a jump and turning slightly to the right. He didn't do anything. He was not ready for that at all. Baller fight.
Oh, that guy's just going to try and run away in the baller. And that's the thing, right?
What?
The baller has been nerfed. So it does not take that many shots to kill. Yes. And this guy was just... HP now. Yeah, he was not 150.
Right. Oh, man. Yeah.
And it's such a big target. It's such a big target, right? So, like, great for doing aggressive maneuvers like this guy is, like where you're trying to get into the fight. Would not recommend it for trying to run away like that unless you plan on just getting a little bit of distance and being instantly ready to turn around and drop builds to keep yourself safe. So he's finally running to somebody who's at least building, trying to protect themselves. He messes up that build there. And this player does not drop on him.
So he's already got the advantage now.
And he's getting shot. He's getting third-partied right now. Yep. So we'll see how he manages to play that.
He's got the circle too, and a high point.
Yeah. So he's in a great spot here. He's got a lot of height. He doesn't have gliders anymore though, so he does have to be a little bit careful.
That storm flip. I wonder if he's going to ditch that right now, or if he's might just use it. I mean, in my opinion, this is just what I would do. I would be ditching the drum gun for something else. But he's still holding that drum gun and the scar. But I haven't seen him use the drum gun as much as you would think in most situations where you'd expect it.
Ooh. Yeah.
Right there.
I think at this point he's basically kept it for just a couple of battles.
I don't even know why he's got an AR. He's doing perfectly fine long range with that shotgun that he's got. Ooh. Doesn't even need a sniper or anything.
He did just take a lot of damage there, though.
Yeah, seriously took some right there.
Yeah, so he just got ripped from a ways away. He knows that player's over there, so he's going to try and find him now. Actually, he's kind of just ignoring him.
I mean, you got 5 seconds. You don't even have to move. Wait for everyone to make their rotations. You can get some easy picks right now, but he is hungry, dude.
Yeah.
Well, at this point, you have to be because you have a chance for a 30. You need to go for that.
Yeah, you might as well, right?
Right. You have to kill everybody. So he's already on his way. He's on his way. I am going to be crushed if he doesn't get this.
Will he get the 30?
Because it's not even going to be his fault. He's just got too. Oh no, he lost it. He didn't get it. Somebody else picked it up. That is criminal.
Yeah, he's upset right now.
Oh man, I would be. Oh, I'm so upset. It's like even if I had 26 kills, I'd be like, who cares?
I didn't get 30, and I could have. So he knows this fighting is going on up here.
Yeah, that's.
See him kind of pushing up on it.
This might be the last fight.
I think so.
All the 3 remaining people are here. I think the baller's playing with somebody, so that's at least 2 of them.
Yeah, at least 2 are up here. And if there's one other person left, good luck.
Well, that's bye-bye baller. Take fall damage and dies.
Wow.
He's still got this launch pad to go.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's circle too. He doesn't have to go anywhere, but he's going to finish this game. He's not going to let the game finish for him.
Yeah. Oh, 100%, right? You can tell that's how he's playing it. Oh, okay, so he's found somebody who knows how to build. This is good.
The classic.
That's another thing that people at lower levels of the arena need to master is that quick shot, edit, shot, right? Like you
What
ended
do you think he has the steadiest hands in the world right now? Watching this, this is the last guy. Look at this. He's missing. Oh, I think he was just going a little bit too far.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at this. He is just in pursuit. You know what would be a nightmare? Imagine this guy just has an RPG and just point blanks it.
That would be brutal.
See in my situation, what I would do is if it's for example, say I'm the other guy's shoes right now, and I have a rocket launcher. If I did, I'm not shooting it right now. I wait till I get point blank. I let them think like, oh, I have a shotgun, I have an AR, but I don't let them know I have that until I absolutely have to use it. Those long range shots are that's just wasteful.
Oh, so he thought he was going to get the fall damage kill there. He did not.
Yeah, the storm flip was nice though. It forces him out. Oh, decks him. Boy's got bad knees. He couldn't take it.
Okay, well, I think it's pretty clear that he was by far the best player in that game.
God. Sorry,
Which definitely,
I'm allergic to sick ass plays. I apologize. That was dirty. Bomb. Come on.
That definitely helps.
He was the best player in the lobby by far.
Yeah,
I mean,
by
we
far.
did see a couple of people. There were at least when he hit the top 10, there were at least 3 different people that were competitive. I'd say in the same competitive range as him, but he owned souls for the most part on that one. That was a great play, great playthrough.
Yeah, definitely.
So one of the points.
What are did you see anything that we didn't touch on in the VOD that you maybe want to take a second now to touch on in terms of like takeaways for somebody who watches a game like that and thinks like what could have been done better either from his opponent's point of view? Well, I mean, obviously building. Right,
you answered that question. There was a severe lack of that, especially towards the beginning. Granted, the thing is you're in a room with he had right when the clip started, he surpassed 100 hype points. My arena games, I remember them getting significantly more difficult after I passed 200. Mm-hmm. So they started getting like I noticed the curve a lot more.
Yeah.
So, but those games before that were definitely a lot simpler in terms of difficulty. And I noticed I was able to get a lot of higher kill games, double-digit kill games. So you have to take that into effect that a lot of those people in the first half of that VOD didn't build barely at all. But not to take away anything from his slaying, because he did everything he was supposed to. He didn't even take a lot of damage until the ending. I noticed the most damage he took was when he was getting third party at the end, and he was on like the highest point of the map. And the circles were a lot smaller. There was, I think, 10 to 15 people left. So he was pretty much getting focused by everybody. But hey, that's perfect for him because then he was able to figure out where everybody was, hunt them down quickly, and man, it was one kill off that 30. That was just a little too much to ask. But
I didn't see that gamer tag or that in-game name of the player who stole that kill. But shame on you, sir. That's you terrible. Ruined a 30 bomb. Because he played that as aggressively as possible. So obviously, guys, that was a clip or a game from somebody who was very confident that they were going to win the game, and was essentially kill hunting the entire time. But
so I want to touch one more on that thing.
Yeah, go for it.
That word you said, confidence.
Yep.
Huge when it comes to playing Fortnite or really any game. And I'm going to tell you why, because you could see in his play, you could see right off the jump, especially after the first 10 kills, because he got them quick. The first 10 kills, you could tell he started playing with you could tell he was feeling himself. He got a little swagger. He was doing everything right, with the building, with the maneuverability, and he increased his loot pool tenfold really quickly with the amount he was able to slay out. But you have to think about the confidence that when you think you just you believe I'm the best person in this game, you're going to outslay most of the people in the room. Because you're gonna play a lot better because you're gonna actually believe in that. Now, and I'll take this last point or example, I should say. There have been times where I was playing Gears of War, and Gears of War 3, you could have rooms where there were bots filling out the room, and then social unranked games. If there weren't enough people to join, like actual people, there would be bots. Yeah. So I would be in a room. I looked at the scoreboard and it's me and the rest of the room are bots. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So I was just BSing, worrying about getting the sniper and then just trying to hit sick ass headshots. I didn't realize for like 3-4 rounds people had like started joining, and I didn't notice. And because these were team deathmatch rounds, they went long. I didn't like see the scoreboards in between, until between rounds. I didn't really notice. So this whole time, I think I'm playing bots, and I didn't realize it until I hit like a couple of headshots in a row. Then I'm like, oh wait, I'm doming actual people, and like that changed my perspective so much. So I was actually playing people that were actually trying to kill me that thought normally, but I thought that they were bots. It changed my perspective, changed my attitude towards playing so much. Immediately after that, what happened? I wasn't playing the same way. You know what I mean? So why do you think people say that? Why do you think people say this guy's a bot? This guy's a bot? Because they want to believe that they're the only human in the game. Get it right. Yep. That's exactly what it is. Have that confidence, man. It's all about that confidence.
Well, definitely, because even, when you push up on somebody and you're super confident, just the way that you're playing it can sometimes put the other person on the back foot, where they go, oh god, this guy's like super aggro. He must think he must be really good. And that will put them on more of a defensive stance, and it'll give you an advantage, right? Even if you're not necessarily better than them, if we were to put you both in isolated servers and see what your actual skill level is, maybe it's the same. But just that little bit of confidence, that little bit of aggression can sometimes really force players to not know what to do. Because a lot of people know how to build on the offensive. It's much more difficult to build defensively, right? At least properly, and kind of navigate out of a bad situation. That it forces a lot more creativity, and it's a little bit more difficult. So hats off to King Joe there. That was really, really good gameplay. All right,
amazing. That was fun. We got to do more of those. I love that.
Well, between now and the World Cup, maybe what we'll do is we'll replace our World Cup section with this.
But that's actually a great call. But now the bar has been raised. We need just for anybody that wants to submit plays, we need plays or gameplays that are at least 29 kills. So that is now the minimum. Just so it's out there.
That would be great. But I would take really high level gameplay as well. I think that would be a lot of fun. But yeah, guys, if you want your VOD review, feel free to submit it. It doesn't have to be a win. It doesn't have to be a win. As long as it's not, we'll say make it at least like you get to somewhere near late game.
In arena, game. Let's call it an arena.
It has to be an arena game. Has to be an arena, and it has to be a late game sort of game, right? Like, don't send us a 2-minute VOD. That's not. You can survive longer than 2 minutes. We believe. I believe in you. Okay. All right. So it's time for hot takes. Couple of interesting discussions going on this week. One, I hate to revisit this, but it's been reopened. The conversation has been restarted, I should say. The keyboard versus controller debate is back again. Of course. I feel like this is just going to keep going on as long as Fortnite's a thing. But there is a video that I wanted to show you guys that was on Reddit that I thought was actually pretty good. It's pretty interesting. So here he's just kind of showing the settings. He's proving what he's saying is true. So he has no aim assist on his controller, okay? Setting the crosshair at this bottom line here of the window. So you see he's built a bunch of walls and put a window in each one. And you can see the recoil. And it just kind of hovers around the halfway point of the window, never reaches the top of the window, right? Now with the mouse, look how much higher it recoils.
That's really crazy.
It's interesting.
I saw this video post, but I haven't watched the video yet.
Okay, well, now you get to watch it first time. So again, he really wants to demonstrate his aim assist is off. There is no aim assist, right? See him shooting. He's going to start it at the very bottom of the window. And it still takes him a full clip to kill this guy. Right? Doesn't really hit that many headshots. But now with the mouse,
there's so much more just bloom.
Yeah.
How have we not noticed this before? Like, it's so
well. I don't think anybody's done tests like this, right?
Well, I wonder if this is newer. Yeah, you're right. Nobody's done a test like this, but so much creative testing has been done so far. I'm surprised. I'm honestly surprised this has been brought to light, and it makes me wonder if this is something that was always there, or if this was maybe something added recently, and that's why it's noticed.
I don't think so. I think this has probably always been the way
That's
that this
crazy,
is.
though.
And I have a theory on this.
Controller players prevail again. I love it.
Yeah. So
no, this is bad news. Bad news.
I don't think this is bad news at all, actually. Now, obviously, it should be said that we are a tiny bit biased because we both use controllers.
It's bad news in the world of the internet because it's people. This is just going to fuel the fires of that discussion.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, I think there's a point that I didn't see brought up on the Reddit thread that I think is actually pretty worth discussing.
Okay.
With your mouse, you have the ability to be far more minute with your movement, right? You can be far more precise, which is the whole point of aim assist on a controller to begin with. So when you're talking about making bloom, right? Bloom is and recoil.
Yeah.
It's a very small movement. It's not like this giant it's not like the cursor's going all over the screen. Like it's like this tiny little shake, right? Yeah. It's much harder to correct for that tiny little shake with a joystick than it is with a mouse. The mouse, you just kind of teeny bit drag it down, and you're correcting for that, right? With a controller, it's really, really difficult to do that.
Here's basically the argument against that. You have everybody who uses a controller uses aim assist. I don't think anybody plays with it off. That guy was just showing that to prove a point.
Yes.
Right. 0% of the people that use a controller play with that off, especially if it's an option in a competitive shooter. When I agree with you, the sticks, they're a lot more inaccurate, but the way that I guess the meta for controller games, especially something like Fortnite, have shifted, it's a lot of L trigger spam, and that readjustment to get your ADS recentered. A lot of people take advantage of that on controller.
Yeah. And
I know even there's been players that have swapped now from keyboard and mouse that they were really good at keyboard and mouse, swapped to a controller just because it's why not? It's the advantage that's there, so it's almost dumb not to take it if you're.
I mean, I guess, but
controller.
There's
a lot of pros and cons.
Yeah, for me, building is such an advantage to keyboard players that are competent that it's not really comparable, especially with how important building is. Exactly. Right. But I think you bring up a good point with the L2 spam, and that's something that I did want to discuss as well, is that I think these two things get conflated because they're so similar, and obviously L2 or left bumper, whatever, or left trigger, excuse me, spam relies on the aim assist, but I think that they're two completely separate issues to an extent, right? Like when you zoom in, when you do the ADS and it gives you such a hard lock on, I feel like they could soften that while not removing general aim assist. Because I think the problem when you speak to most people, the problem isn't with, having some aim assist. The problem is with the fact that, like you said, you can just spam that left trigger or you can spam that L2 button and have that auto lock, it seems. For all intents and purposes, it's an auto lock.
I have been playing, this happened to me when I was playing on Xbox. There have been multiple times, at least twice, I remember, where I was traversing from one point to another, not knowing that there was a person in a bush near very, very close by, and my reticle crossed the bush and it pulled to it. Yeah. And I noticed that and shot and killed the guy. This happened twice. And I would have never known, and that guy probably would have got the jump on me, and I probably could have died, whatever. But the aim assist, that right there is such a weird situation. It's a gray area, but wow, right? Like, what an advantage that is. Oh, yeah. That's something that is completely non-existent when it comes to keyboard and mouse.
Yeah, when people were bush camping a lot, when that was, that like 1 month, like over a year ago now, that was kind of the meta where people were like, hey, look, you can hide in a bush.
Hey, wearing one's not the worst thing in the world. It's getting hit. It's a free shot.
Yeah.
Makes any damage.
Yeah. So, I mean, that was when it was super common. But honestly, with how good people have gotten at building today, I mean, obviously at the lowest levels of play, this is a completely separate discussion. But personally, I mean, I just don't see it as being this big thing, essentially. I mean, even the pros have weighed in on it. And there was actually, this was really bad. Did you see this? One of the guys on E11 got sewered so hard. BloodX?
Yeah.
Did you see this?
I did. I
think we have the tweet thread. I think we have the tweet thread here where this got exposed. This was over the controller debate.
Oh, that's what he really.
Look what happens. I mean, it wasn't like it came out during the controller debate. I believe we have this tweet thread that we can throw up here for you guys. I really, really hope we do.
Oh no.
Apparently not.
Wah, wah.
We will have it though for you guys in a second. But essentially, a couple of the pros started debating. They started debating like the controller thing. And where is it? Oh wow, did I not? Okay, this is my bad.
No,
Oh god.
I was gonna look for it myself.
Give us one sec, guys. We'll get that for you.
So wait, as far as I'm no. So now a player on E11 got released because he made an insane
a pretty racist remark.
About the controller and keyboard and mouse debate?
No.
Oh, okay.
It just happened during that debate. I found it.
Blood from E11.
I found it.
Okay. And apparently he's had an old DM of him saying racist things.
Yes. Huh. So this is a... Oh, never mind. That's not it. I'm sorry, I lied. I thought I had it. How did I find this before? Oh my god. Okay. Well, anyway, we'll give you the summary here. Basically, BloodX mentioned to somebody, like, I hate to see what you've become. Like, you've become, like, you know, like, why are you so salty type of deal. And this other guy basically said, you know, shut up. What are you even talking about? And linked this DM / tweet / message.
Yeah, that's wow.
It was bad. It was bad. And it's probably better that we don't have
old
it,
stuff is really crazy.
Yeah. This, I don't know. I mean, the guy is 27. So I think this wasn't that long ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know where I found this, and I'm very sad now. I posted, like, I wrote it down and didn't include the link, so I'm just an idiot. But apologies, guys.
Yeah, I think
it's okay though. But yeah, so essentially it was pretty sad because this player is now probably screwed to an extent.
No, that's a big no.
Yeah,
people who are in esports are not gonna welcome you after that.
No, I can't feel bad for the guy. I mean, if the message was real, then there's no excusing it. So
I'm reading Ghost his Twitter, and it's just kind of like giving mishmash of the whole situation.
Yeah, that was who the original, like, that was who exposed him, was Izza.
Either way,
anyway.
crap situation.
Yeah, it wasn't good. It wasn't good. You never want to see that in any gaming community, specifically a game like Fortnite where it's so inclusive and, you know, everybody feels good. Oh, okay. Yeah,
I agree.
Anyway, because yeah, what Izza was trying to do was actually he turned off aim assist and wanted to hit some shots and, like, actually hit some pretty nice clips. And people were just accusing him of still having aim assist on and stuff. It became toxic, really. So honestly, it's better that we don't show you guys that. Anyway, moving on from insanity.
Let's talk about the new ranked leagues that Apex mentioned.
That's exactly.
No, it's not an Apex Legends podcast, but I think this is important based on what people have been asking for from Fortnite for a long time.
Yeah, well, not only that, it's I think, you know, there's no secret. Like, if you look at the respawn van, straight out of Apex. You look at the ping system, straight out of Apex. There is no doubt in my mind that Epic is really paying attention to what Apex is doing and showing people, you know, and taking the things that are, you know, most liked and incorporating that into Fortnite. Why wouldn't you, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So if you
they figured out, yeah, that's a great idea. Let's add that to Fortnite. That'll make Fortnite better. I mean, why wouldn't you do that?
Exactly. It's just kind of interesting because they've gone with a very traditional ranked system in the sense that, you know, you have your bronze, your silver, your gold, your platinum, your diamond, and then they call it Apex Predator, right? Which is essentially a challenger or master.
Scary looking emblem, by the way.
Yeah, looks sweet. Looks sweet. But they had a couple things in here that I think were really, really cool. So for one, they have loss forgiveness. Now, this is something that most developers do not touch because generally when they have tried to touch it, it gets abused. That is just the general rule of how this seems to work. But in this case, essentially, what that means is that if you get some kills and then you die, they will give you the loss forgiveness so that you don't lose, the points. RP is what they call it, right? Every game calls it something different.
Their version of high points, but it's
Exactly.
actual XP. I'm assuming how they're running it.
Right, right. Now this won't come into effect if you would have gained points on the match. They won't like subtract the loss forgiveness points. Like you'll still get it. But if you would have lost points and you get some kills, then it'll even itself out.
Right.
The other thing is that if your teammates quit, now obviously, so for Fortnite, the one thing that Fortnite does, because they have the solo, and this is a big difference, right? This is something I do want to stress. Fortnite allows you to play solo arena mode. Apex does not have a solo arena mode. It's all team based, right?
Very true.
So because of that, Fortnite forces you to play with a full squad, with a full duo, if you're going to play duos. And I'm assuming it's going to be the same thing for trio. You're going to have to play with a full trio. You won't be able to enter arena trio by yourself and just queue up and play a team-based arena game, right? Apex does allow you to do that. Apex is 3v3, and you can queue up by yourself. So because of that, I'm assuming that's why they're doing this. Like if your teammate quits, if they discover that it's not your fault, they'll give you loss forgiveness. If they realize it's the server error, like if it's a server that, but I'm really, really hoping people don't abuse that. Because it just sucks. Like every game that I've ever played online, people are like, oh, I lagged out of this game. Why do I lose high points? Or why do I lose, LP or CP or CR, whatever every game calls it something different, but it's all the same thing essentially.
Yep.
And it's interesting though. They've kind of gone more on like this ELO based system, it seems, which is strange because, this is something I talked about with Balo last week. ELO is supposed to ELO's derived from chess, right? The original ranking system that every single game has basically taken and used is the chess ranking system. They all make some slight modifications, but that's what it is. How do you do a 1v1 ranking system in a lobby with 100 people? Like, how do you account for the fact that you might be getting third partied? So the person that you killed you is way worse than you, but you were in the middle of a fight with somebody who's way better than you. And this guy just shoots you in the back once, gets the killing blow. Did you die to someone than you? Like, how does that work, right? It's far more complicated in a battle royale game type. So I think it's really interesting that we have a completely separate and different ranked experience in battle royale that's set up completely differently. It's not set up like PUBG. Like, basically, if you look at Fortnite system, it's very similar to some of the other battle royales. So which one of these two do you think is going to prevail over the long run? Or will it be some combination of the two kind of getting fused together in some elements of both?
Well, Apex Legends seems to be ticking all the boxes, at their own pace, which is a good thing, I believe. You don't want too much burnout, but there were, I guess, a little bit of a slow start until they finally released the new season updates, and now this ranking system and everything that's new to the game. But now they're finally, I feel like they've got their footing. Essentially after that first big boom, which I believe themselves were also unprepared for, like anybody just didn't expect. Now, I feel like with having a ranking system with Apex, or any battle royale, it's very difficult because you have to think about, like you said, third party is not taken into account. How is there any way to track that? Possibly, like maybe how much average out how much damage you accumulate to players that, like, your first shot to a player that. But the player is not facing your direction. Like, if there's like intricate ways that maybe it could be tracked, but I feel like there are way too many variables for this, and it is hard to get an average rank. I'd feel like for a battle royale completely, but I'm excited to see how Apex handles it because right now Fortnite, they've tried their way, but who knows? I mean, Apex, it's almost hard to say, like, if they almost better be careful. They don't want something to be too good, because then it's almost as if like Fortnite will definitely snag it up for their game and then improve their competitive side. But the way that the ranking systems seem to work, I really do. I like that a lot. The loss forgiveness is a really big key. With Fortnite, now I'm at the stage where I join games and I lose 2 high points. So if I don't get at least 2 kills, one elimination is 1 high point. If I don't get at least 2, I've already had a loss now in that game. So there's definitely things that you have to account for when you play, and where you're landing. There's so many different things that are out of your control, but the best players always end up, always end up coming out on top. So with Apex, it's going to be a little bit different. Like, that's a great point, though, that they don't have a standard solo yet at Apex. So how's that going to change things,
Yeah. No, I mean, you do lose points even in Apex, and it scales just like with Fortnite, right? So at bronze, the lowest tier, you don't lose anything, just like you don't lose anything at 0.
Yay, my tier.
High points. Yay.
Shout out bronze. Woo.
Bronze life. They need
What's up?
One game really just needs to embrace it and just do iron and wood below bronze. But
Age of Empires 4, where you at? There's a good idea for you.
You're welcome. It's free. But I like the fact that both Fortnite and Apex, this is the one thing I really like about what the Battle Royale games have done so far, is that they haven't made the mistake of, like a lot of other games, they put players in the middle by default, right? So like in League of Legends, it's like Silver 1 or something. It's like that's where you get placed standardly, unless you do awful in placements, and then they put you lower. But that causes this weird thing where you can be playing in what you think is like a mid-tier game, and you have somebody on your team who's literally played 11 ranked games in their whole life, and you're like, why are you in this game? You should not be in this game. Both of these games start you at the bottom, which is, it's unfortunate for smurfing. It does cause, makes it really easy to abuse as a smurf.
That's very true.
Make a new account, and you just, hey, look, I'm at the bottom. I can play whenever. And I don't know if Apex put a limit on when you can play, because Fortnite, there's none, right? You could theoretically be playing your very first Fortnite game ever and just hop into an arena game.
Yeah.
I think Apex is doing the same thing. Again.
Yeah, Overwatch, you have to hit a certain tier, a certain level before you can dive into competitive play. They take competitive very seriously.
Yeah, well, I mean, for games like Overwatch,
I think it's level 25.
Makes sense. Yeah, it is. For Overwatch, no.
Right, because it's more of an objective-based game,
right.
Specifically.
And you can't play solo. There's no solo play, and it's also
do arcade free for all.
You have to know all of the different characters, right? Like, you have to know about how everybody works. You have to know how they all synergize together. You have to know the different roles. You have to know the maps. Like, there's a lot of stuff that goes into that. Whereas Apex and Fortnite are inherently not as complicated. It's just like shoot.
Obviously, or Apex is kind of the weird combination of the two, because you have the classes, but you have Battle Royale. So that's why I think they're hesitant for the solos, because it wasn't built for solos originally.
Right. Yeah. You'd basically see everybody using a couple of classes, and all the other classes would just be not competitively viable.
The medic would only be used for people that are trying for a big challenge, I'm assuming.
Right. Yeah.
For example, why would you not pick somebody like Gibraltar or the Wraith, somebody who's a lot faster or has a lot of shield? There's obvious ones where you would choose and not.
Wraith, Lifeline, Barrage, maybe. Like, people that are good by themselves. Like, their kit gives them an escape, or their kit gives them oh my god, I forget her name. Bangalore. That's the one I was, not Mirage.
Although you can have a solo, and then if you win with a character that's more of a support or defensive character, then gives you double of XP or something like that. So you might, that gives people an incentive, so you might balance it out.
Yeah. I think it would just end up being a YouTube thing.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Anyway, I don't think that there's anything, like, I don't know. I'm interested to see how the two systems kind of play out and see what Fortnite takes from it over time. But I'm
going to assume that they already have their iteration, the new version of their competitive rank weighting at the helm after the World Cup. I feel like we have a big announcement coming for the World Cup, because either that or we're going to be in like a no man's land right afterwards, and then they announce it later. But I would imagine when they got the world watching, they're going to have a trailer or something, some type of promotion.
Yeah. My guess is that we'll find out that there's going to be some independent tournaments. I really have a strong feeling that we're going to see, like, because ESL, DreamHack, those types of guys have run maybe UGC. That would be cool. But I've seen some really cool, I mean, we saw some tournaments even before this World Cup, right? That were happening with some of the other major tournament organizers. So I'm assuming that they're going to go back to that, open it up, maybe kind of like what League of Legends did at the beginning, where it was like there was the LCS season, and then when the LCS season was off, you could have an IEM, or you could have an MLG, or you could have something big event, right? And kind of have that person run the show and just use the game and kind of keep the off season alive, at least competitively, give players something to compete, something to watch. But I think it is important too that they take a small break, just because players have been grinding so hard for this World Cup, and these top 100 guys are going to be, practicing furiously for the next month. that I think it'll be good for all of their mental health to just like, okay, World Cup's done. I'm not touching Fortnite for a week or like 2 weeks. Like I'm just
That's
putting
true.
the game down. I'm going to go on a vacation. I'm going to go do something. Yeah, I think that's going to be important.
Those people that are in the World Cup that are qualified are just living and breathing that game right now.
Well, why wouldn't you? You have so much money on the line, right? Like it would be
100%.
silly to be doing anything else.
You're playing 12 to 15 hours a day. Easy.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is honestly, I'm not a big advocate for that. I think if you play 8, like
no, it's not smart.
It's just not smart. Like playing 12 to
You're
15 hours.
Burning yourself out.
Yeah. You're
not gaining anything past like 9 and 10th hour.
Yeah.
You're just
and especially if you're doing it in long sessions. Like I'm a big proponent of play a couple of games, get up, go do something, like clear your brain and then come back and play a couple more. Because otherwise I feel like you just get into a habit loop sort of thing rather than thinking critically the entire time. Like your brain can't be on at 100% for that long in a straight shot, right? It just doesn't. The human physiology doesn't work that way. So if you are practicing for the World Cup, be smart about it, guys. Don't just sit there and play Fortnite for 14 hours straight. That's not going to help you.
No.
Okay, clips of the week. Man, we got really off topic about
that. What else? That's how we do. I mean, what else? That's how you know you're watching Tilted Talk.
Yeah,
we hit every possibility here.
All right, guys. I think the voting is closed on Twitter, but you guys should be following at Tilted Talk Show so you can vote each week for who wins clip of the week. Bala actually agreed with one of your previous sentiments about sometimes the people who vote on these clips are not correct.
Yeah.
I believe you were watching.
I was blown away from that last week. That vote. That was I think he won by 1%, but it was mind blowing.
One vote. Crazy. Anyway, guys, make sure you're following at Tilted Talk Show on Twitter so you can watch these clips of the week right when they come out, which is a couple hours early, and then you can also vote on them so you can influence who wins.
Yep.
And submit your clips so I don't have to spend hours looking for them. And also, we want to feature some of our guests. Like that's just, or not guests, our viewers, because that's awesome. Yes. We want to build this community up. Okay, clip number 1, Van Dorak. Dun dun dun.
His name's already intimidating.
Yeah. Ooh, so you see, he's getting dropped to the top there, and
wow, I love it.
So I think this is in spectator mode. So that's why
he just removed the HUD.
Yeah, you don't have the HUD up, but you saw that shot was for 262. That was a headshot, and
that guy's a semi-auto sniper spamming it, and he can't hit him.
You can't hit him, and this guy just flicks one shot headshot. I think that's where we need do you know what we need is a boom headshot sound effect.
He just gave that guy a 204 point middle finger. That's what that was.
Yeah, that was
202.
Oh, 262.
Oh, 262. Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I'm just sad that we don't have the distance because I would have liked to see how far that was. It seemed very far and uphill. Not uphill, the guy was in the sky, but you know what I mean. He was on he was on lower elevation to hit that shot. So pretty impressive. Pretty good snipe. Clip number 2, one of my favorite names that I've ever seen, Stallone Baloney.
Nice.
That's beautiful. Sylvester Stallone fan, maybe?
Got a face cam. I love it.
Yep, so this is a streamer. I believe he streams on Mixer.
He's cocky, ain't he? Fork knifing.
Yeah, so they both here get hit with a boogie bomb. But apparently this guy just decides
boogie bomb. Was it the guy's pickaxe?
It was his teammate.
I did it!
Oh, this was the last guy. I was wondering, this guy
ends him with the double.
That guy had full shields, I think.
Yeah, he had full shields. I'm pretty sure that was 200 damage he just did with a pickaxe. So 1, 2, 3.
Wow. Dancing.
There's a little dance in the middle. I love it. 4.
So he didn't have any health left because he knocked down shields and then
yeah. Wow.
He knew. So what happened was they probably got him down low. He probably popped a couple minis and then this guy was on the attack. That's awesome.
I thought that was pretty funny. That's a comic.
That's just mean. That's way worse than any dance. Take the L. Like when you get pickaxe that badly, that the
BM was real.
That's when you take Troop's advice and just go take a walk. You just like, all right, now I'm gonna go do some other stuff.
I'm done.
That's when you have to take your advice.
You start questioning life. Like, am I even good at this game? What am I doing? Champagne. The Champagne. Clip number 3.
The Champagne? Either way.
Champini.
Oh. Nice. That was far. What was the distance on that?
We're about to find out.
This is up to the screen, but I can't really see. Never see because the white shows up on top of the slipstream texture, so that's also white.
Yeah,
I couldn't read it. I think it said
260, 270, something like that.
I think it,
anyway,
it said very, very, very far.
Very, very, very far. Beautiful shot, though.
You know, when I shoot things that are this far away, it ends up being like one of those wooden posts from a fence. I think those are people constantly. I gotta fix my my quality on my stream, maybe, or my graphics card, maybe.
Yeah, maybe you do. Clip number 4.
Nice snipe, though.
Yeah, it was a nice snipe. Clip number 4, Idaho 951. So our last clip.
Okay, arena mode, I see.
Yep.
Wait a second, this looks familiar.
This does look familiar. I
This
do not
was
believe
last week.
I do not believe this is the clip.
This was
last
last
week's clip.
I was watching last week when I saw this.
Yes.
This guy went on a rampage.
Yeah.
Doink. Oh, it was extended. That's right. I think it was even Bala that made the comment where he didn't like that it was clipped or changed. Like it wasn't one full clip. He's like cutting it. You know what I mean?
I think Bala's comment was that the last couple of kills kind of brought down the quality overall.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
This
or
is
this
clip.
the actual
This
clip?
is the clip. No, this is also just for some comedic relief here.
Oh my God, poor bad. Oh, soul.
Oh,
Idaho 951 wins clip of the week.
I must be a child, but I find this just hysterical. This guy's like, I will drive away from you. I will make it. And he's like, nope, I'm gonna hop on. And he's playing on Xbox, so God bless. And
oh my,
right in the back.
Oh man,
that was just mean. That was just mean. And let's see who won.
you come back.
I don't know. I don't think.
Hey, where to? Dead.
Oh,
that's rough, man.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm so glad he won. I'm so glad.
I am too. This is just
Beautiful.
hilarious. It's like, all right, I'm just gonna hop on the back here and give you the quick business.
That is not how you tip your Uber driver, dude. That is not what way to treat your Uber driver. I'm sorry.
This man was just trying to give you a
messed
ride.
up.
He was trying to let you, hop on the car for free. He wasn't even charging you anything.
You're lucky we're giving you clip of the week. You're lucky that was hilarious.
That is just mean, sir. And one thing is for sure, if you're an Uber driver from now on, you better be asking people. Your Fortnite name's not Idaho 951, is it? Because if it is, I'm gonna have to ask you to get out of the car. And that snipe was 286 meters actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it. It was in that.
Too bad
tweet
we couldn't
description.
see Vanderrock because I wanted that one. I think was better.
Oh, look at you!
You dodged 3 incoming shots from the semi-auto and connected on the first shot. The guy was in the Sky Temple, whatever you want to call it, the Sky Base.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I thought it was awesome. The other guy, he kind of lined up right away. He was standing still the whole time. He had a strafing shot on that 262. I don't know. I thought it was dope.
Yeah, I agree. Anyway, guys, I think that's it.
That sounds about right.
So we will catch you next week. We will have a guest next week, actually.
Awesome.
Somebody who runs a Discord server, like a Scrim Discord server, and wants to talk a little bit about some of the issues that arise on those servers. And we're going to talk about, how those servers work and how you get into them, all that good stuff. So make sure you tune in next week. But until then, guys, have a great week. Enjoy playing some Fortnite. We'll catch you next time.